Hi everyone, my name is Chris Rodriguez, and today we'll be talking about handling customer feedback on social media, and in today's world, how many businesses rely on social media feedback. And it's important to know how to respond and reply to customer feedback. And nowadays, in digital era, a lot of customers like to express their feelings, but knowing how to reply in a professional way can make a difference in your brand's reputation, because your brand's reputation means everything. And in this presentation, I will show you the steps on how to do that and how to handle customer feedback. And we can start by discussing when you should respond to a comment. There are several situations where it's important to step in and to talk about some of those situations, legitimate complaints. And what I mean by that is, if a customer has a real issue of the product or service, it's important to acknowledge acknowledge the issue, and to resolve it. A well-handed complaint done with the right steps and the right tone can lead to an unhappy customer being a very satisfied customer, who can become a loyal customer to the company. And loyal customers, they mean everything to any company. Misinformation. Sometimes a customer might post something, that's just totally false, and you recognize that, and I would say, that's a good point to come step in and put out that fire, and not to do that, and don't do that in any rude manners. You want to come off very calm, polite. You want to just represent the company, because at the end of the day, you're representing the company and how you respond to these customers. And knowing how to do that, it's very, very, very important. So responding politely can prevent others from getting the wrong idea, and you don't want people to go along with on false statements about the company. And to go back to those loyal customers, if a loyal customer has an issue of the product, or the services or anything, if they want to share their experience, if they want to share their experience with something, engage with them. That shows the value we give to our loyal customers. Their support means very much to a company, as much as the support we give them, obviously. But we want to make sure companies want to run a tight ship with the customer side. Preventing something larger, bigger than what it needs to be. And what I mean by that is preventing a bigger issue, which is like a comment or a complaint gaining a lot of attention for no good reason, just because some customer just got mad over whatever, and addressing it quickly, can really, hopefully seeing the comment quick enough before it gets out of hand. Putting out that fire, stepping in, is a good way to keep the company good reputation. And you just don't want that. You don't want that backfire of people thinking the wrong things of the company. People don't want that. Customer expectations. Sometimes customers might expect a response for even just the minor issues, or just little, and I wouldn't say complaints, or little questions, or and we want to show them that we see that, and to recognize just those little questions customers have, or the feedback, to be able to respond to that, is a good thing, because it shows that we care as a company. If the question is, if it's like a troll, or or a spam, it's better not to engage in any of that. You don't want to you don't want to give that attention to those whoever's behind that device, because there's just no point in giving them that attention. And now we can talk about guidelines for writing, for writing the responses back to the customers. We can talk about how to respond professionally, and when you decide to reply, I'll name some key guidelines to follow. So the first guideline is that you want to stay professional, and what I mean by professional is that you want to keep your responses polite. You don't want to be disrespectful, no matter how frustrating the customer might be. It's important to stay calm, collective, and avoid getting defensive, which is very important. Another step is acknowledging the customer's issue. You want to show empathy towards the customer. You want to show them that that their issue is valid. Those feelings that they have are valid. Sometimes people you don't want to make them feel dumb. What I mean by that is that you don't want to question. Not question, but you just don't want to make them feel like that their problem just doesn't mean nothing. Like a sorry, like one example of that was like, we're sorry about your frustrated experience with the company. We understand how you must feel. Just being sincere. Being sincere is important, very important, because it shows how much you care about the problem and the customer's feelings. You want to offer a solution or a next step. If possible, you want to offer a solution. You can't resolve it immediately. You can refer them to someone else. Example, you can please send us a direct message with your details, and we'll work on it. Work on a resolution. That's a good response to say. And then to carry on, you can take it offline. If the issue requires details or a deeper conversation, you can suggest messages or email. Email's good to have because you'll have professional documentation. Just to show that obviously you care. Now we can show an example of like a good response. An example of that, it could be like a customer could be like, we're really sorry that you received a wrong product. We understand that you're frustrated. You can say you can send us the message with the order number, and we'll get it sorted out. Just being simple, being polite. Fixing the problem right then and there is very, very important. When not to respond, there's only just a few simple things. Trolling, harassment about the company, don't give any of that attention. There's really no point in doing that. Spam or irrelevant comments, people who just want to voice dirty comments about, or inappropriate comments about the company. There's no point of retaliating back with like, oh, you're wrong, or there's no help in that. But obviously, acknowledging the right response, the right feedback, and knowing when to reply to someone else's is very important. And to kind of wrap up these main takeaways, you want to respond to the complaint. You want to make sure that the complaint is valid. You want to follow the key guidelines to respond professionally, timely, and you want to be empathetic and sincere with your message back to the customer. And you don't want to respond to trolling or any inappropriate comments about the company. There's no need to respond to that. And just to remember that customer feedback is very important to any company trying to make a name for themselves. And just to make the customers feel like they mean something is very important. So customer feedback and knowing how to handle that is very important. So thank you for listening.